Hello there, today I have a Shulker box unloader for Minecraft Bedrock Edition. It's 3x3x5 blocks, somewhat small. Works with any fill level, empty, half full, full. 100% reliable, no losses or shulkers in the wrong chest, and it works at just less than hopper speed. So yeah, there's some good one wide tileable designs. I can link one in the description. But this is pretty good if you just need a single, just one of them, and you don't need to have 5 or so. Because with the one wide tileable designs, you would have to place blocks on the sides, and this is pretty much as small as it gets. I haven't seen one too much smaller, like in terms of just blocky. It's even in terms of blocks, it's about similar to some of the one wide tileable ones. But yeah, if you're stacking 5, you might want to do those. So here's some shulker boxes, have some items, some of them empty, non-stackables and everything. We'll just put it into the system. We'll put some chests in just to hold those items that come out. And yeah, we'll let it run. I've just sped this footage up. It goes a bit faster, nobody wants to watch it running for so long. Alright, and here we go, the system is done. You can see it's all emptied out. Everything's done. Oh, I have to break this block, but you won't have to do that if you move your chest. See, all the different types of items come into there. They could be sorted in the future, and your empty boxes go there. Alright, we'll set tutorial now. I'll start with the materials list. 2 droppers, 5 solid blocks, 2 hoppers, 2 redstone torches, a dispenser, 2 comparators, a scaffolding, 2 dust, 1 block of redstone, a sticky piston, 2 pistons, 10 observers. And you might want some extra storage and hoppers. I also have 4 glass here. So these could be glass. You could also make these solid blocks. So if you want to bring 4 solid blocks extra instead, you could do that. Or they could be glass. These 4 can be either. But they have to be like solid, like full blocks. They can't be like glass panes or anything. So I'll just get that. Okay. And now here is the input. Here I have my input facing down, so that would be like that. You could also have it in the side here. It's up to you. You could have both, but that doesn't make it faster having both. And here I have my outputs. They're facing to the side. They could also face down, and I guess this one could face this way or that way as well. It's up to you on that one, but this one's a little bit more limited. So anyways, I'll keep my outputs here, and I'll have my hoppers facing the side. So I'm going to put my dispenser on the side there, or facing down I guess. A temporary block there with a piston. I'm going to put that block there. Now depending on how you want your hoppers again, you might want them to come down like that, so you can have your hoppers facing down. That's just what I'm going to do here, but you can also do something like that, so you could have them facing into the side there. Next, diagonally down, we're going to have a block there, break that one, and we're going to have a comparator on that one and that one on top of and reading from the piston. Alright, I was just looking back at the tutorial, realized I missed something quickly. The one that's on top of the piston should be on subtract mode. Please do that. Sorry. This one will actually read through the piston and read the shulker box that is there. Next, I'm going to put a block there with a dropper on top, and we're also going to put a piston beside it with a torch that's coming in this direction. Now I'm going to have my sticky piston, which is going to be powered and is going to be pushing and pulling a redstone block that will power this hopper right here, so that when this piston fires, and that will be on. The shulker boxes don't come in, but we also want to be able to turn it off so that it can suck items out when it's supposed to be sucking items out. Next up, I'll get started on some observers. So there's a few observer things you gotta do here. You can have one looking up at that comparator and one looking to the side and look inside like that. Now we're gonna have those both powering downwards, and the one closer to the hoppers, we're going to put a block there, and the other one, we're going to have a dropper facing any direction. This one can also be facing any direction, by the way. They're not going to have items in them or anything. We're going to have a comparator looking at there, comparator looking up from that one, with a torch on top of it. So basically, if either of these go off, it will power that torch. Next, we're just going to have a observer looking at that one, observer looking again at that, with a block and some redstone there. The last step we're going to do, have some scaffolding with some redstone, and the last observer, I know there's a lot of observers in this build, facing that way into a block. Now you can take your solid blocks or your glass and put them there. Either way works, just like that. I'm gonna leave the glass because I just think it looks a bit nicer. And yeah, that's your build all done. I'll get the extra storage and hoppers. Like I said, you can have that like that, or yeah, anything you want. And you could have an input chest here, or a line of input chests, whatever you really want. Alright, so the system is now done. It's all working, it's all running. You can put boxes in there and they will be outputted here, but yeah, like I said, you should probably have some extra storage, otherwise the system will get backed up and will not work. But while it's running, no boxes get stuck in there or anything, and everything's always sorted properly. If you're just here for the tutorial, thank you for watching, and see ya. But if you want to see some mechanics, or basically how this generally works, then you can stick around. So basically how this works is, you can see there's a loop here. So with this comparator, so as soon as something goes in here, this turns on and that sees it, which will power that block, powering that, and then powering that, making like a long observer chain basically, which powers off and on this dropper, which gets observed here, powering this. And if there's items in here, then this will go from on to off and then back on quickly again as this gets subtracted for a second, which this observer sees, and the loop continues. However, if there's no items in here, then this goes from off to off, which is not, it doesn't do anything, so the observer doesn't see that and the loop stops. So that's kind of how it turns off when the system is done. However, we don't want it just constantly looping. We want it looping until there's a box that comes and there's items in there, and we want it to stay there until items are done being drained. So this detects through the piston if there are items in a shulker box there, and if there are, it will power this block, because this is kind of a fun fact. I'll just show you here quickly. It's pretty well known on Bedrock Edition at this point. But if a piston is powered, then any observers on them get powered. You'll see this doesn't work with just normal blocks, because it's only powering this one. But it's kind of a bug turned feature on Bedrock Edition. Like that. So anyways, yeah, I thought this was kind of clever with the subtraction. But if there's items in the hopper, in the shulker box, then the hopper will lock, or rather unlock, to let the items be drained out. And at the same time, that when the comparator here is on, it will lock this dropper, so that even if the loop continues and this turns on and off, this dropper is already on, so this doesn't continue around and continue the loop. So that also stops the loop. But then when this turns off again, that observer will see it, powering that, and then like I said, it's kind of an OR here. If either of these are on, then it will power that, and this will be no longer powered. But that's the thing, yeah, so it also sends a observer signal when it is powered, but that again powers this on and off, but it's already being powered, so that also doesn't matter. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Here in the loop, we also integrate a way to dispense the shulker boxes, but nothing too fancy here. And the fact that this stays powered as long as there are no items in here ensures that no matter what, no items, like no shulker boxes ever get in here. Sometimes people try and, you know, like time it so that they power that and power that at the same time, but this is kind of like its own little system, so it's very reliable. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching. If you watch this long, consider leaving a like. But yeah, thank you very much. Bye.